think he just lives down on the lower areas of the mountain, and there's the doe population, and all the deer know of. Like, he's right there with them deer. They know he exists, that he doesn't have to go. But there's other situations where bucks, the population is spread out through the whole mountains to where they have to travel to hit scrapes and that. Well, I find situations where these deer got this pocket of deer that he kind of satellites and watches over, and they know he's there, and he knows they're where they're at, and he just, like, when they, at nighttime, you go up and check them out and this and that, but he don't have to do all that scraping and stuff. So it makes it hard to hunt a deer like that. And like, I have a shed from last year, and there's hardly, you could tell on his horn that he didn't even do a lot of rubbing last year. So
that's why he's alive.
Yeah,
because he knows how to hide, and he doesn't leave a whole lot of, doesn't leave a trace of where he's been.
Yeah, but I think, like, so another thing I did here in the off season when I had snow, I'd make just huge circles out in the forest. Kind of like an oval. I'd just park and I'd go out around maybe 4 or 5 miles to whatever it might be, just to find track of a good deer. And then that's the starting point for shed season.
Well, what's super interesting is a couple of things that you just said. So I had Cody Rich on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and he's from Montana, big elk hunter. But a lot of the stuff that you're doing is similar to what a lot of guys do out west, like going out at night. Like, that's one of the things that the really good hunters out west will say is, hey, if they can't get on a bull during the day, they're out at night because they're vocalizing at night. Well, deer are moving at night, right? So you got a chance to jump something or see something more in the evening. And then the perimeter thing that you just brought up too, that was something that he talked about, was he'll get, on the top third of a ridge line, in a big drainage, and he'll just walk the entire perimeter of it, just like you're doing from a scouting perspective, which that kind of leads me to where I wanted to go next with you was, since you're traveling, I want to find out from you, as you go into specific types of terrain features within different states, what are the top couple things that you're looking for? So as people, are listening to this, people who may be new to traveling or who have been traveling for a while but aren't having a ton of success when they move into a new location, what do those things look like? So what would be the top couple things that you would be telling them, hey, here's what you should be doing as you come in to scout and try to hunt hill country?
Yeah, I think just like some of the highlights would be, there's, every situation is different. But I would find, like on Spartan Forge, you have historical wind data, and I would see what the historical wind is. Say you're going to be hunting October, check back, see, and usually a lot of my areas are west, southwest. So we're going to look for the leeward. The leeward sides or the downwind, like the bigger deer, or I tend them to find them the furthest downwind. So even this deer I'm talking about, he's the furthest downwind. He could smell everything up on the mountain or up the drainage.
So when you say the furthest downwind, do you mean further down the ridge, or do you mean like on like fingers off the ridge, or what specifically, or is it both?
Yeah, both. Like if it's a drainage.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to look at a drainage with some cover up through it, say some thermal cover, and like say this drainage is a mile long, and I'm like, man, he could be anywhere in this drainage. Like way up, there's a trail crossing this drainage, and there's some thermal cover, some blowdowns, and like you can get, like, I tend to find that he's not in the middle, like, of the drainage.